Life has a strange way of throwing us curveballs when we least expect them. You never know what danger may come your way as you go through life, so you need to keep your wits about you. Here are some of the craziest life riddles that you must solve to stay alive. Number 8. Keeping your head above water. Say you got stuck in a room that is rapidly filling with water. There are no doors or openings you can escape from, and no way of turning off the water. Luckily, help is just 5 minutes away, but there is a catch. There are only 2 minutes left until the room completely fills with water, and there is no way you could hold your breath for 3 whole minutes. The only items in the room available to you are a straw, a rope, and a bucket. Which one will you choose to help you stay alive until help arrives? Make up your mind fast because the water is rising with each passing second. If you were thinking of choosing the straw to use as a snorkel, then guess what? That won't be much use after the water goes over your head. And the rope, although a handy object in many situations, is entirely useless in this situation. Your best bet is to put the bucket over your head. This will trap some air around you so you can breathe long enough until the rescue team arrives. Number 7. Parachute malfunction. If you are the adventurous kind, you might be interested in trying out skydiving. Full of adrenaline, you jump out of the plane. But luck is not on your side today, and your parachute won't open. You only have a few seconds until you hit the ground, so you need to make a quick decision to maximize your chances of getting out of the situation alive. Your options are to curl yourself into a ball to protect your head and internal organs, twist and turn until you're near enough to cling to another skydiver, or you can choose the emergency reserve parachute. Yep, you guessed right. The only thing that can save you is that emergency parachute. Trying to cling to another skydiver will just make both of you crash into the ground. And while curling yourself into a ball may limit injury, there is no guarantee you would still survive, so you might not want to go for that. Number 6. Evil genius. Let's say you've just been imprisoned by a professor who is an evil genius. But since he is feeling generous today, he decides to let you go if you can solve his riddle. He asks you to choose between 3 doors, A, B, or C. 2 of these doors lead to freedom, and only one is the death door. You are allowed to point to any one door and ask only one question. If you point to a freedom door, then the professor will answer your question truthfully. But if you point towards a death door, then the professor may lie. Choose your strategy quickly before the professor changes his mind about being generous. If I were you, I would point to door A and say, does door B lead to freedom? If the professor says no, I can choose door C, and if the professor says yes, I would stick with door B. Don't get it? I'll explain. If door A is a death door, then whenever the professor says, you can safely opt for door C. If it's a freedom door and the professor says yes, why, then you just tricked him into telling you that B is a freedom door, and you can safely choose it to make your escape. Number 5. Take your pills. Imagine you are very sick and cannot see. To survive, you need to take 2 pills every day, 1 blue and 1 red. The doctor always arranges your daily dose in small bottles, but one day, you drop 2 of these bottles after he leaves. Now all the pills are mixed up, and they feel and taste identical. The doctor can't come back until tomorrow, so you need to figure out which pills to take to stay alive until tomorrow. What would you do? The best way to make sure you take the right pills would be for you to break each pill in half and separate those halves. Now you have 2 sets of 4 pills. Just eat one of those sets and you will have taken the correct dose to keep you alive until your doctor comes back. Number 4. Watch out for that rhino. Let's say you are enjoying yourself on a safari trip when this huge rhino comes charging straight at you. You only have a few seconds to make a snap decision to save yourself. To survive, you could puff out your chest to make yourself look bigger and scarier. You could play dead, or you could hide behind a tree. Which option would you pick? If you're thinking of puffing out your chest to make yourself look bigger, think again. Unless you're literally The Rock, I wouldn't suggest trying this method in front of an actual real-life colossal rhino. Playing dead may also not be such a good idea because you could still get run over. The safest option would be to get off the rhino's path and hide behind a tree. Since rhinos don't have the best eyesight, chances are that it'll charge right past and won't see you behind the tree. Number 3. Poison plant. Dodging that rhino has made you really hungry, and you can go eat a tasty-looking purple berry. Uh-oh, that berry contains a lethal poison that could kill you in minutes. Luckily, a native arrives at that point and tells you that you need to eat another plant to fight off the poison. He tells you that eating grapes or pumpkins will save you, but eating bananas and onions won't. But you only have a tomato, a lettuce, and a cauliflower in front of you. Which do you pick to save yourself? Since grapes and pumpkins grow on vines and have seeds, and bananas and onions don't, your best chance of survival will be to eat a tomato, because tomatoes also grow on vines and have seeds. Number 2. Creepy castle. Now imagine a totally different scenario. You are trapped in an abandoned castle and all the lights are out. There is no one home and all you can hear is the howl of the wind and the wailing of ghosts. Spooky. It's no surprise you want to get out as fast as possible. There are 3 doors that lead to the outside world, but your options aren't pretty. Behind the first door, there are all kinds of poisonous snakes and venomous spiders. The second door has a deep pit, behind it is full of pointy spikes. The third door isn't any better. It has a moat behind it filled with electric water. Unless you want to stay with a spooky ghost, you're gonna have to choose a door. Which one do you pick? The first door would be a very bad option. You could get squeezed to death by a python or make a tasty meal for some hungry spiders in no time. The second door is a big no-no. If you fell into that pit, you would be impaled to death. Ouch. The third door is actually the best option. Don't get why? Well, remember we said that this was an abandoned castle and all the lights were out. Chances are, no one has lived here for ages and electricity was cut off ages ago. So just flip a switch to check if the lights are really out and then you can safely swim your way to safety. Number 1. Pick your punishment. Here is the craziest situation yet. You have been convicted and found guilty for some of the most heinous crimes. But instead of throwing you into prison or executing you, your diabolical jailer gives you 4 options. There are 4 tanks in front of you, which you will enter from the top. Each contains something horrible, and your jailer wants you to choose your own sticky end. The first tank is full of strong acid that reaches out to your chest. The second is full of serial killers just waiting to murder their next victim. The third tank is literally on fire, and those raging flames aren't going to die down anytime soon. The fourth and last tank is full of sharks that haven't eaten for 6 months. Which horrifying punishment do you choose? Option 1 and option 3 are out. There is no way you could survive a vat full of acid or a tank full of fire. Option 2 isn't much better, unless you think the serial killers may have decided to become better people. I wouldn't hold my breath if I were you. Honestly, the best option here is to jump into the tank full of sharks, because it's been 6 whole months since those sharks got any food. They're probably long dead by now, so you should be able to safely make it out of the tank. So what do you think? How many riddles did you get right? And do you think you can now survive whatever life throws at you? Let us know in the comments below. For more fun riddles, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.